I want to talk about how to stay authentic under pressure, right? Because this is often the case when we have a lot of people looking at us. If you're doing like public speech, or even if you're in sales and you're sitting with someone like an important business person or executive, sometimes we tend to like fold under pressure and like we don't stay true to what we believe or how we are. So this is not a good thing, right? Because you're sacrificing what you believe in order to, just because you are afraid that someone might judge you. And to an extent, this is something that you need to do, right? Because I can't just go about like shouting here and calling everyone names, because I'm not the only person on the face of the earth. And like you need to be respectful and things like that, right? So you need to always calibrate people, but that doesn't mean that you should sacrifice what you believe in just because someone might disapprove of you. If I say what I believe in and someone disapproves of me, then I'm not necessarily going to like that, but I'm not gonna fold just because someone is going to disagree with me, right? Or just because I'm afraid of some reaction. You know, at the end of the day, you need to be able to say what you believe in, especially like if you want to grow in sales or like you want to grow as a business person, right? Because at the end of the day, like even if you have a business that doesn't necessarily have a lot of people, maybe you're not necessarily managing a big team, but maybe like even if you're in tech, like at a higher end of business, you're still gonna have to make connections with people, right? You're not gonna be able to do everything just by yourself. So if you wanna attract valuable people, right? I'm not just talking about high earners, but I'm talking about people that you actually respect yourself, that you see as like, wow, like this person has like standards, and like this is someone I want in my alliance or in my partnership or in my army, right? But if you want to attract those people, you need to become that yourself, right? Because if you're not, then the people that you look up to are not gonna respect you. They might respect you as a human being, but they're also gonna see that you're not at that high level yet. So every time that you choose to suppress yourself in order to make someone else happy, and you suppress what you actually believe in, your values, you're pulling yourself down, right? So that doesn't mean you should go and be shocking everywhere. You know, you still need to have your own personal growth process where you like analyze like the world, like what actually makes sense, what are actually good ethics, what is actually good character, what does that mean? Like how do you become a good person? These aren't just things that you can't just go to a place like this and like shout what you believe in. You still need to do like the actual self-reflection work as well, right? So do that, but then have like the balls to actually go and do that, right? Like, this is the same thing with like people who study a lot about business, for example, like business professors, but who never actually grow a business themselves, right? You become this, and this is like, they are intelligent people because they have a lot of understanding, right? And it's something you need to develop. But if you don't have the complete skill set, you don't have the complete picture, then you're always, you're either going to lack in like your skills of actually like being yourself, or you're just going to lack in like your understanding of what it means to be someone of values. And you're just, maybe you have like balls, but then you don't know what to go and do in the world. Like you don't understand what actually is value, right? So you need both the intelligence, you need the balls, you need the action to go out and do it, right? So this is my plan. This is what I want for you. If you want to grow, if you want to grow as like an executive or like as a person, I think this might help you well. Okay, so there are other things you can do. You know, you can go out, you can do this what you want. You could go out and connect with people. You could do cold approaches. If you want to flirt with women, if you want to explore that side of life, you can do it. I don't think, you know, I did that for a while. It's fun, and it does grow you as a person, but it's not good for business, and it's not always as good if you want to actually attract like a family as well. So you got to be mindful of the way you go about your self-development process. But there are several ways, you know, just every time that you are in a situation where you're afraid that someone might judge you, go against the grain and say what you believe in, right? And don't do this mindlessly, as I said. You want to make sure that what you say is actually true and is actually something that you believe in. But every time that you are confronted with a situation like that, make the decision to stay true to yourself, stay true to what you believe in, right? This is how you grow. And you don't necessarily need to go out to places like this or sales meetings or do cold approaches to improve at that. But if you want to go a step further, you can go there and you can put yourself in situations that are a little bit challenging because they will grow you even more. So I hope you liked the video. I hope you found something interesting. Check out my next video if you like this one. Feel free to leave any comments. Always happy to hear from you guys. I'll see you next time. Cheers.